Doesn't this human ever give up? Let me rephrase that. I give up.
Over the Hedge is a straightforward movie-to-game translation that allows you to take control of the 4 main characters: RJ, Vern, Stella, and Hammy. The platform adventure offers more options than its competition, but is this enough to let it stand on its own feet, or does it simply blur together in the mess of the rest? Over the Hedge, at its core, is just another movie-to-game action platformer, but it does do things a little differently. Throughout the game, your characters will unlock different moves they can perform. There's not many, but enough to keep the battles interesting and varied. There are 35 levels, each with a handful of primary and secondary objectives. Once you complete the first few levels, you'll have access to the Woods area. The Woods displays things you've stolen, a hub to switch characters, a tree with all your hats, and a corkboard with your missions and minigames. This hub is a nice way to weave the game together and keep the story moving. It allows you to switch characters or hop into a minigame without feeling like you left the main adventure. One complaint would be the hats. They add a nice aesthetic variation, but don't enhance the game in any way. They are, in a word, useless. Getting into the missions, you'll notice they follow the style of the movie very closely, but after a while the maps and levels don't look very different. In fact, you may experience déjà vu in some areas, as the only things that change are the enemies and their placement. To help solve this, Activision worked in many different modes of gameplay, so one minute you're in a third dimension of platforming, and the next you're side-scrolling and catching chips falling from the air, or knocking critters out of windows with your golf club. Because of these random encounters, the game is extremely fun to play, especially when running through the main missions cooperatively. This opens a whole new level of gameplay, but it would have benefited with more multiplayer moves, instead of just being able to jump on your partner's back. There are also mini-games you can play cooperatively, which are a huge time waster, even if there are only 3 to choose from.
Stop that right now! Thank heavens I won't have to set eyes or foot on any more of those horrid creatures ever again.
There are no cutscenes pulled directly from the movie, because the game picks up where the film left off. But you do get to play the last portion of the film as the tutorial. This gives you a lot more freedom to explore the characters because they're not stuck within the confines of the story currently playing in theaters. Phew. The graphics aren't exactly cutting edge, but do show off the lasting power of the current generation. The in-game cinemas can't compare to the movie itself,
It never ends that way too.
but are convincing enough to make you feel like you're continuing the story.
Look, everybody! It's Vincent!
The largest shortcoming of Over the Hedge is its lack of camera control. This is a detriment to every aspect of the game because you're always forced to go where the game wants you to. The levels are linear and easy for children to navigate, but it still would have been fun to see more of the action from a different angle. If you're a parent, child, or someone looking for some good, clean fun, this is one of the best movie-to-game platformers released in the last few years. The minigames alone are enough of a perk for you to take a look. Not only will the game get you more deeply involved with the film's quirky characters, but you also get to take down badgers with golf balls. What more could you ask for?
Raccoons and golf. We go together like skunks and frisbees.